Alright guys, welcome back. So one of the things, crypto projects that really helped build this channel in the beginning was AMP Crypto, and I realized that I haven't done a review on AMP, Flexa AMP for a while. So I think now is the proper time to answer the questions. Will AMP Crypto go up? Why is AMP Crypto falling? Will it go back up soon? So this whole entire video that I'm going to do today is going to be very educational, because I really think that you learn the most in times like these when the market is in huge fear mode. And we're in huge fear mode mainly because midterm elections are coming up here in the US, and we're expecting the Fed to do more rate hikes. So basically, it's not just cryptos that are down. Stock markets are down, everything is down. Everything is being priced in for these rate hikes that we're expecting. And AMP is not prone to that. But that aside, there are a lot of things that are happening in AMP now that I see are very good news. But still, am I still going to keep holding AMP at this point? Well, you have to wait and see and find out in this video. But otherwise, if you are new to this channel or you're a returning viewer and you haven't subscribed yet, please consider helping up our channel by smashing the like button and subscribe button. And once we've got that done, let's jump into today's video. Let's take a look at the charts. So these charts are the charts that I made from last year, believe it or not. And last year I basically said, even I think the video that I did at the beginning of this year, I said that if we fall under this 0.03, this 3 cents, then we're going under. And lo and behold, that is exactly what happened. So now we are touching this low point, 83 point on the Fibonacci on the long term. So I'm going to say the same thing. If this falls below this, what is this, like 191 thousandths of a cent? If we fall below 191 thousandths of a cent, then the next stop is basically the 1618, or where we had previous resistance, which was here, because we can see that when we first started off, when AMP first got lifted off, we had resistance here, and the resistance showed against here. So basically, we can draw that line. We can take probably this green line and move it down here, and that would be 1/5 thousandths of a cent, right? Or basically 1.5 cents. Otherwise, if we lose that level as well, then we're really looking at this 1618, which is 1/3 thousandths of a cent. So we are getting down there. And I really think that, yeah, we are probably not going to keep this level. So the next stop, I really think it's going to be probable for us to hit 1.5 cents. So right now, I would say not to buy the dip or anything, because we're really waiting for next week to see what happens with the Feds and the rate hikes. And remember, everything is following Bitcoin, right? Although we can say that right now today, everything is up, though I think that's just a fake out, because once next week kicks in, then I really think things will go back and fall down even more. That's what my mentors also say at IM Academy. If you don't know what that is, check out in the pinned comment below, or even schedule a call with me and we'll discuss more about it. But this is where I learned all my charting, right? So there you have it with the charts. We're here at DeFi Pulse, and they had a remake, and the remake is really horrible, and I'm just gonna go through that in a little minute. But we have Tornado Cash, which is on the top of payments, but I really see Tornado Cash isn't really payments. So to me, Flexa is still number one when it comes to payment, but the thing is that they're both on Ethereum. And if you go to Ethereum, you have this little gas fee here. The gas fee right now is not that bad, it's 60. But 5 minutes ago, it was 170. Especially with NFTs trading and Bored Apes and things like that moving around, yeah, the gas fee can get pretty dang high. So basically, what that means is staking AMP token is a pain in the ass. And the gas fees basically eats into any sort of appreciation or interest that you make. So I don't stake my AMP token anymore, which is why the token for me, it's like worthless right now. But anyways, you can see that DeFi Pulse had a new remake. I don't know what kind of drugs the developers were on, because you can no longer filter by chain or sector, and you only have this little thing here that really changes TVL, ETC, BTC, which I think is completely useless. But other than that, this looks way more terrible than it did in the past, because it has less functionality now. We have to actually scroll down and take a look at where is lending, who's the top of lending, who's the top of derivatives, things like that, right? So things can be easily missed, but that's all I have to rant about. If you are working at DeFi Pulse, please roll back to a previous commit, because this looks like crap. So we actually have some new articles from AMP blog and Flexa blog, and they have one here as staking AMP as collateral. That is how bad they need staking right now. So basically, that Flexa uses AMP to enable instant fraud-free payments to merchants across its digital payment network, and that collateral providers, which means stakers, and users of the platform earn the entirety of value aggregated within the network. So if you haven't checked out my previous AMP videos, please check that out because I'm not going to explain it here. But basically what the staking process entails is that if you're using Ethereum network, which you have to use Ethereum network, you have to deal with congestion, which is high gas fees. So it may not be economical to reallocate staked AMP. That means that when you need to make a move, you can't make a move. You know, it's like trying to get it on with a girl when you are a teenager at your parents' house. There's always that worry that your mother is gonna walk in on you guys and you can't make a move. But that really never happened to me because I was super lame in high school. That never changed. But anyways, that's a story for another time. But currently there is also an active work to enable Flexa capacity on Ethereum scaling networks and alternative layer 1 protocols. They should have done this last year because that is exactly the reason why I unstaked my stake, because I wasn't earning anything. And even if I did earn something, it all goes to gas fee. So that's kind of pointless. And if you go to their how to stake AMP, you can see here that they have screenshots back in the day when AMP had $1.3 billion in capacity. And now if you check it today, they only have 553 million. That means that they shed $800 million in value for AMP capacity. So you could say that most of that is really due to the drop in price, right? Because here there's 24 million AMP staked and we have more staked here. So it's definitely due to the drop in price. But why is price dropping? Because a lot of people are moving their money out of AMP because they're seeing that they can't earn any interest, which is one of the reasons why I moved mine out of AMP as well, right? And that's another reason why I'm not going to get into it now. I'm looking to sell it just because unless they fix that staking issue where we can go around high gas fees, then there is just no benefit to staking AMP. So something new we have is Flexa's new transformers and multi-chain payment products. So basically, remember that last September, Flexa introduced transformers for the Flexa network. This really enabled El Salvador to accept Bitcoin easily via the Lightning Network, right? Banco Agricola, which I did a video on, El Salvador's largest bank, was able to instantly accept Lightning Network payments while receiving the asset of their choice. So recently, AMP stakers will now have the option to stake their AMP as collateral to any of the 10 plus fully integrated apps that Flexa recently announced as developer grants recipients. There are 12 new transformers including Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Cardano, Celo, Dogecoin, Ethereum, Lightning, Litecoin, Polygon, Solana, Tezos, and Zcash. And you know, more transformers are going to be added in the future. Well, I suspect things like Phantom, Avalanche, Terra would probably be added because those are growing in popularity right now. So stakers now can choose even more from collateral pools on Flexa, and they really have a choice right now because they can either choose collateral pools or staking with transformers, but each of them prevents different risks, right? For example, payments made by apps, that is something like Gemini app or the Spend app, that integrates Flexa's Spend SDK, each have their own collateral pool. This isolates risk to the individual app rather than the entire network. But if you are securing payments by an app that is not integrated with the Spend SDK, that means that any app can use the transformer and there is a risk of more malicious transactions and thus more risk of your collateral being slashed, which means that you lose money. So basically, you could say that if you are collateralizing or staking with something like Spend or Flexa, that is less risk than if you do it with a transformer. And you can see this in the how to stake. You can see that they have the apps on Flexa, which is Gemini and Spend, and then they have transformers Lightning. I can't show you this on my wallet right now because I have no AMP on my wallet, but I'm suspecting that there's going to be a lot more under transformers that you can stake with. But still, one of the biggest problems is that when you're staking and unstaking, you still have to use gas. So unless the APY is so good that it beats the gas that you pay, for me, it's not worth it. So this article here is kind of the same thing as I just read to you. I just wanted to highlight this little screenshot here. Basically, that's supposedly how it looks like. You know, you could pay with Solana, Ethereum, Lightning, more. This is a really horrible and pixelated picture, but you know, you can only do so much with $500 million. So anyways, let's jump over and take a look at AMP on Coingecko. So this is the last thing and maybe the most important thing that you're going to learn about. So you really want to stick by because we're almost near the end of the video anyways. But I really wanted to show you this AMP price chart. So basically we made highs and highs. That's an all-time high, and then now we are back where we started, right? So this is very similar to what we have here. This is the Wall Street cheat sheet, the psychology of market cycle. So basically this was what happens. It goes up, goes to euphoria, I'm a genius, we're all going to be rich, complacency when they start saying that this is not very smart anymore, maybe I should start getting off. And then the market starts falling. They go into disbelief and say it's a sucker's rally. You know, this is a scam. all this sort of thing. So right now we are in a cycle. We're always in a cycle. And you could really think that if we compare the two, this here is basically the I'm a genius era, right? Because that is exactly what we went up to, euphoria. And then we go to complacency, which we can see by it dropping down below and then going down to here, which is the second high point, which coincides with the second high point, complacency. And then we fall all the way down, which is kind of like the mini disbelief, anger, depression, disbelief rally that we have here. That was that. And then the cycle repeats, right? So we didn't really see euphoria here. But, I think we kind of had two complacency areas, and now we're going back again to this suckers rally, this panic, anger, depression, disbelief. Because right now, I would say that I'm in disbelief. But I do know that this is going to happen again, right? There are many factors in the market right now, kind of like with midterm elections, with rate hikes and everything, that are affecting the price of AMP. In addition, it's an altcoin, so it's going to follow the price of Bitcoin, and Bitcoin isn't doing so hot either, right? So I know that once this is over, it's going to climb back up again. So do I believe that AMP is going to go back up? Absolutely. Beat all-time high? Yeah, I think that's going to happen. But when is it going to happen? That's what you're here for, right? I don't think that's going to happen until maybe Q3 or Q4 of this year. So I really think that my mentor also says from IM Academy, say that Q4, we can really expect things to turn into the bull run that we expect it to. But right now, things are really low, which presents a really good time to buy right now. But whether you believe me or not, that's really up to you. I am not a financial advisor or an expert at these things, so make sure to do your own due diligence and do your research, because I bought near the highs, and so far I'm at a loss of money with AMP. So I'm not sure whether I'm the right guy to listen to. I'm not sure even if I should listen to myself with the advice that I'm giving you. And at this point, I'm not sure if I should really call it advice. I would call it I am making AMP videos on the AMP losses that I made on YouTube in order to earn YouTube ad revenue. But anyways, if you actually got any sort of value whatsoever from today's video, if you learned something, I told you it was going to be an educating video for me to make ad revenue. But anyways, if you got any value from that, you can help our channel grow by smashing the like button, subscribe button, check out these other videos on cryptocurrencies and passive income. And remember guys, continue working, continue building, continue inspiring. See you next time.